Hey, what's up, Joseph? Quick demo video for you for your Warsabers Starkiller. This is a beautiful saber. I haven't seen one of these up close in a long time. Actually, I had to go back because I knew I had done a video on one. It was the 8th demo video on my channel over a year ago. And I've got something over like 400 videos on this channel now. But yeah, it was the 8th one. I was brand new to this hobby, and I remember thinking, man, that's a beautiful saber. And the same with this one. This has a few differences than that one, but the crystal chamber's the same. Everything's pretty much the same except for your switch box. On that one back there, you couldn't see the switches, but on this one you can. Your top switch here is your activation, and then your bottom switch is your auxiliary. Oh, sorry, I got that swapped around. Your bottom switch is your activation, and your top button here is your auxiliary switch. You do have Shtok V3 NPXLs in there for your main PCB. I put a real quartz crystal in here, right there in your chamber. I found one that fit perfectly, so that lights up really well, and I'll show you that here in a second. And then it's installed with the Proffie V2 that you wanted. So what you want to do is just open up this handle. I did a little bit of assembly when this came. I glued on these black grips. Glued on the vented pommel for the speaker, and I think that was about it. That's about all I had to do. Oh yeah, and then there's a clear lens on this guy right here that I went ahead and I glued in place with some CA glue. So you know, that'll stay on there for you, no problem. But once you take the handle off, here's your chassis. So if you can see that in the light, that says Warsaber Starkiller right there in the Sith text. Just a little something that I like to do to the chassis here. You have a removable battery. Spring size your negative over here. Yeah, and then if you look over here on the other side, it's the same kind of stuff, but it says Solo Sabers in the Sith text for me. Something I like to do there. And then you have a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker here, and your Proffie board on top. Now this board is just a snap fit down into the shelf. If you want to get to your SD card to change your config, just pop it up like that. You don't need to take it all the way out of the shelf, although you can if you want. I would just suggest popping it up diagonally, doing what you need to do, and then snapping it back down into place. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing there. Let's throw a battery in this guy. All right.
Priority change. Initiate termination sequence. Eliminate target experiment subject number 113.
So we'll just throw the handle on. Now, on this first sound font, I did program your crystal to kind of blink when the saber was off. And that's how it looks right there. So it lights up really well. And then when you turn it on, because you have motion controls, lights up super nice and bright. LEDs in there working like they should. You get that flashing in your crystal. That was the soundtrack. So what I accidentally held the power button too long. If you want to turn your soundtrack on, hold down your power for a second and let go. This thing is loud. And then do the same thing to turn it off. Just hold down the power for a second and let go. Now you've got two different options for blade retention on this guy. You've got a grub screw right here, which you can use. But then you've got also this guy right here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in the light. Probably not. You might be able to see it a little bit right there. This is sticking inside the... No, it's kind of hard to see, but it's sticking inside the blade socket, right? So you just back this out. Back it out of the blade socket like that. And then we can put our blade in here. And this takes a 1-inch diameter NeoPixel blade. So once we put that blade in here, we can just screw this guy down to lock your blade in. Of course, it's got to be touching the pins like that. So the blade socket's a little bit tight, so if you have a brand new blade, you might have to do some sanding. That's why I had to do that extra push right there. But if we turn this on, you get a nice unstable blade. And then you also have, if I turn that light off, you got shine through right here, which is cool. And then you've got shine through right here, which is also cool, right? you have battle mode, so you can hit the blade, you do lockup, or if you hit the saber, you get blade lockup. And it will stay like that. It'll stay like that until you pull away from it. Or you just tap auxiliary for blaster bolt deflect. I twisted it off there, but we can use the power to turn it on, and then you can tap power to turn it off as well. Now this is the only sound font that I made your crystal do some pulsating, and it is timed, so it will go off after a certain amount of time if the saber's not turned on. But on the stock fonts that I left on there, if you hit auxiliary, go to your next font, it's just going to mimic your blade. So you got that nice turquoise blade, crystal, super bright crystal.
Smooth Jedi.
Nice blue blade, blue crystal. Now if we hit for blade lockup, you see that in your crystal as well, until you pull away from it.
Smooth gray.
Nice fire blade.
Smooth fuzz. Rogue Commander.
So this is kind of like it's a fire blade, but it's like just a blue fire. And you can see that good here in your crystal as well. Now, if you don't like the color of something and you want to change color on the fly, hold down your auxiliary and tap your power. You'll hear that sound. Now we can twist the saber and go through different colors. So if we wanted like a green, try to find a green. Find that green, that's pretty close. And then just tap the power button. You'll hear that sound. And now when we turn it back on, we've got that color. Just like that. It's a nice flickering to your crystal. Looks really good. And we'll turn the light back on and we'll take the blade out. So yeah, everything's working exactly as it should. And then once I take the blade out, I'll just screw this back in so it doesn't fall out. And then to get to the battery, right, we just want to unscrew the handle again. And then come over here from the positive side of your battery, which is over here by your speaker. And you can pull it out with your finger just like that. This chassis was a big enough diameter where I could hide all of the wires in your battery cradle. So you don't see anything that you shouldn't there. Everything's nice and neat, no wires showing, and that's pretty much your saber. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, man, I will box this up and try to get it out to you in the mail tomorrow. All right, thanks.